Alright, this is more relationship advice for heterosexuals, and try to make sure I advise people on how to compete right in the eyes of the Almighty. I'm gonna run an old rhythm. Those of you who's checking out my music, if you look at the new stuff I got an anthology album out on Spotify and that, called The Best of DMB Boys 2011-2017, and this was written some time back. It's called Hate Me Now. Yeah, run it. Alright. One day I will make it. Nobody wanna see me rise. One day I will make it. Nobody wanna see me rise. One day I will make it. Nobody wanna see me rise. One day I will make it. Nobody wanna see me rise. One day. Get into the thing. Yo, this tune goes out to man who competes like they're a bad smell. Yeah, they bring us defeat when we should have do it. Well, the reason why most women get frustrated by people who call targeted, people like me who doesn't take the next step, is simple. I live decent. I live by the words of the Almighty. I don't bully people. I afford people their privacy. I never intimidate them or something vicious like that. But I see people around me, and the way they compete, the way they get females, it's just not right. Everybody's doing it now. They're even doing it to months because other sexualities are in town now. So, sexualities that I concentrate on advising people about is the only sexuality that I've had real life experience with, and that's heterosexuality. So, when you see a woman and you want to get with her, don't intimidate her, because then your life becomes a lie. If a woman felt like she had to give it up because of something you did in the background, some of you are even liaising with system and that, asking policemen to bully your target. To see a woman and you want her, you start sending suggestions into her mind that you do her. If she doesn't give it up and give you some of that pum pum, you turn to the policeman and wreck her life. They're doing it to mans now. Even homosexuals are trying to do it to mans. A homosexual will target you, see you standing there, and then start to make suggestions. He will suggest that if you don't give up your ass or pump him, give him one in his ass, police will ruin your life. The system will target you and they'll lock you out of everything you try to get in that. So I want people to be aware, especially heterosexuals, be aware of what's going on. Don't indulge in it, and be careful when it's done to you, because you need to stick by what you believe. There's nothing worse than having been forced to do something that you didn't want to do first. So today, not just today, every day of my life I see this going on. Me, in the past, I've been engaged once. Some small chick. She looked like a princess. The thing was so thick, I had to make a move. I was thinking, yo, I can't lose it. If I lose this, then I'll have regrets later on in life. So I popped the question, but I was thinking, how? How do you do that and make it genuine as fuck? I didn't call system for her. I left her in her own drum. She had her own crib. I left her there. I gave her security and that to keep me from her. But that's a later story I won't explain to you now. But I made sure she's comfortable. I wasn't even there because I was twice her size, so she might even be intimidated by my size. So I had to do it from a distance to make sure that there's nothing in front of her that's coming from me that can make her feel like she has to say yes to me when I ask her the question. I made sure that it's something that she wanted to do. So I phoned her up and I asked her the question and she said yes. So you have to be very careful that you didn't intimidate someone to be with you, because that's not romantic, that's not cool. That's a life that is a lie. Don't give yourself to those fools. The reason I'm saying this, I wasn't gonna say that because that sounds like I'm player hating, but it's not. But I've noticed all my life, people who do that are going around telling women not to give themselves to me. Every time I look for a woman and I do my thing right, I make sure I romance her, turn around. Women are attracted to things like your bicep, your pecs, your trapezoids and deltoids. I don't know. So I show her a little form and she gets attracted, she gets horny, she wants to do me. Then I hear one of these hate mongers talking to her about you don't have to give him nothing. Yeah? You're ruining it for me, so that's why I'm doing these videos and ruining it for you. Rewind the blood clot tune. Yeah. So I wasn't gonna do this, but I have to do it. So now I'm telling you, if you see mans whose MO is to liaise with system and everybody around, to ask them to intimidate you when they want a fuck from you, you don't have to give them nothing. You don't have to give up nothing. Yeah? Make sure you don't hold them as friend. Yeah? Make sure you're not emotionally attached. Don't wait for a moment when you let your guard down to ask you that. You look around, you're like, I really don't want to say yes to this man, and then you see people around them that they've asked to turn up, and they're intimidating you, making suggestions in your life that if you don't say yes to this man, we're gonna ruin that. Say no. You don't have to give them none. Yeah? And note down who's making those suggestions. Note down the man that's doing it. Start taking notes, start preparing. You might have to report that one for harassment and stalking. Record them talking to you, asking you out. Record yourself saying no and keep that as evidence. That's exhibit A in a future court trial. You never have to say yes to people who pressure you into doing something that you don't want to or never plan to do. So I'm tired of being hated on, and by man and women alike. Yeah, it's a complicated situation that's going on in life. There's women who consider themselves to be owners of a next woman's fuck, so they want to be the ones who decide what a next woman does with her twat. They've been targeting me too, and lesbians obviously, because they're competitors. They go around telling women they don't have to give themselves to mans, and other men who behave like lesbians are also competitors, go around telling women not to give themselves to me. But I'm the only one who's playing it right. I turn you on. Are you horny for me? If you're horny for me, what's wrong then? Let's fuck, innit? In the eyes of God, marriage is simple. As long as you're both together, you're married. As soon as she steps outside the door, you're not. Adam and Eve got married. There was no pastor, priest, or clergyman around. Her family weren't there because there was no family at that time. It was only the Almighty witnessing that. So the only time that marriage can take place in terms of what the scripture says is when it's man, woman, and the Almighty as witness. What are all the other people doing there? They're never described in the first marriage. So as soon as you ask someone when you're alone and they say yes, that's marriage. As soon as somebody says no, that's divorce. Yeah? So marriages are temporary things. It's a bit like when you have time